Yes, indeed. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers, and sisters. This is the Apex Online Racing F1 2017 F2 Sprint Series, rounds 9 and 10 here at the Circuit of the Americas. My name is King-Kodiak, and I will be your commentator throughout this evening's race. Now, we are just getting underway. We were just waiting for a few more drivers to jump on board, and we have got 14 of them, no less. So just got the Cannonball Run. A lot of you are requesting the Cannonball Run theme, which is quite nice. That song is actually more famous than I am. So for those unfamiliar with this, how this series works, it is two 25% races with a one-shot qualifying, deciding the qualifying for the first round, and it's the same grid, but the top 8 are reversed for round number 2. I am really looking forward to this. I love Circuit of the Americas. It's always a good fun to commentate at. So we are now heading down to the grid. Let's take that down. So let us head on then through the bits that we know of and head on down to the grid to see it, or head on down to the field. Now, of course, we will shoot straight into the one-shot qualifying, so everyone's going to be... Oh, it's raining! Oh, that's going to upset people. Oh, that's going to be fun if that carries over into the race. Into race 1, at least. Alright, let's see who we're going to pick up then for the first... or for the qualifying run. I tend to try and pick up ACR Timp, as he currently leads our championship. If I click on this one, you'll see how the championship currently stands. Timp with a pretty commanding lead on 158. Then Smeeds 2, Detainable 3, Cozzy 4, Hayden 5. And, well, exactly as you see it. But without further ado, let us head back down to the field then. There's a very seeing the swimming icons there, and here we go then, and it is indeed Timp that we have picked up straight away. Fabulous. So, oh, it's actually, is it Skatey or Timp? No, it is Timp that is picked up. Right, let's stay on board then for ACR Timp. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Right, so into turn 1, uphill braking zone, very tight, very slippery as well. They are on the inters, so no particular standing water at the moment. Long turn 2. Now, the S's takes you through all the way through from turns 3 through to 10. It's so easy to make a mistake here. This is all about patience. You can't really pass unless someone really throws it off the road. And we've already lost Rick Vega and Temple of One. So 2 people that have had a pretty poor qualifying already. So they'll be starting towards the back end now. Heading on down to turn 11 next. Very heavy braking zone. Oops, and Tim just gets the tail. A little bit happy on that one. Long straight. DRS open if available. Not available in the wet, of course. And then pick your braking point for turn 12. We've lost Erskable as well. So the wet weather catching a few people out. Now through 12. Down to 13. Or the double right-hander 13, 14. There it is. No real... it was essentially a double right-hander. There are 2 apexes there, and Tim's gone very wide through 15, but that actually gives him an interesting line through 16. That could be out of choice. It looked like he went very deep, but that could be intentional. Now 17, 18, again a long sweeping right-hander that has 2 apexes through it. Then it's the left kink of 19. Pit entrance on the... oh, and he's run a little bit wide. That could be a little costly for Tim. Now final turn 20. Nails the throttle, slides the car out, and now we see the qualifying times come in. 1:47.9 by a tenth and a half over Detainable, so that's very close. And Salenk, Erskable was disqualified from the session. That's not good. I thought he retired from the session actually, so not quite sure what's happened there, but there are your qualifying sessions. Look at that, a tenth and a half only separating Detainable and Timp. And then 1.3 down to Hayden, so the wet weather catching a lot of people out. Smeege 4, Skatey 5, Kanon 6, Coddy 7, Defabe 8, Coldo 9, and Rienk rounding out the top 10. Indeed, only 10 times set. Rick Vega and Temple of 1 crashing out, and Sadiq and Erskable being disqualified from the qualifying session. They will be starting from the back. 14 drivers present for this evening's races. And we will see then how this translate. Does the weather change? We know that it does indeed. So we have got bright sunshine then for the race. There's a little part of me that's just gone boo. I wanted to see how these guys do in the wet. But you can see how it caught several drivers out really before we followed Tim through half of his qualifying lap. And the fact that there's 20 corners and so many of them are in really, really short succession. It's just, you know, one mistake is so costly here. There's only really 2-3 major areas where you're going to really throw it on the inside of someone. Turns 1, 11 and maybe 12. Where you're really going to get an overtaking maneuver. But here we go then, down to the grid, 5 lights, and Rick Viga's already got a jump start penalty. That's not going to help him, as does Calder. Oh my goodness me, we have got all sorts of trouble going on. I wonder whether they're going to restart the session, because this is disqualifications and penalties going off everywhere. Tim hanging, oh look at that, that's Hayden that's flown around the outside of Detainable. What a stunning start for him. He's up to second position. We've got trouble already. Rick Viga is retired. He's pulled off on the infield there. Hayden's lost that second place to Detainable. Oh, that's one of the Renaults getting very, very wide. I think that's Templar 1 that is getting a little bit squirrely in the back. Then Timp is just gone. He's already built up nearly a second gap between himself and Detainable. Now heading down to turn 11. And Hayden now having to fight off Skatey. Skatey having a look at the inside. Oh, I've gone to the wrong person. Now Skatey getting the inside of turn 12. Turn 11. He didn't quite get the move done on board with the Haas. Can he do something now on the slipstream heading down to 12? Can he do anything about it? He's going to have to throw it and hope. And he doesn't do it. Now you can see he's on the super soft tyres. Oh, look at that. That was Smeeze that flew through on the inside of 12, doing what I thought that the Haas would do. And the Williams just dives through on the inside to take that fourth. Lovely manoeuvre. Let's actually get gap to leader, but we also want our tyre choices. And look at that. Tim actually on the super soft. He's running away with it. And look at that. That was skating and he's side by side with the Mercedes of Cozzy. He's falling through the field a little bit after such a great start. Oh, Skatey's gone way off the road, and that's going to allow the Force India through. Oh, and that's the Force India of the Sanek, I think, that's coming in. Detainable taking the lead. Where did Tim go? Tim's had a big problem somewhere. He's lost the lead to Detainable. I would imagine it's the difference in the tyres that's done it. Sanek, Erzkabel and Temple of 1, I think, serving penalties as they come through. Rick Viga is disqualified. I'll be curious to know what's happened there, and Tim having to slot in behind the ultra soft shots Toro Rosso. Ooh, that gets very close again. You saw the extra pace that Tim had, couldn't use it through the S's. Detainable holding his line perfectly well. Now Hayden is got Tim in his sights now. And that just shows when these ultra softs are up to speed. A circuit like here, Circuit of the Americas, that extra grip is absolutely crucial in these early stages. It's how long that extra grip hangs on for, and I don't think it's going to hang on for long. So we will see how the ultra soft runners hang on to the extra grip now. As that's Hayden having a look at the inside of Tim at turn 12. Oh goodness me. That's very, very close. Hello there, Smash in the chat. Yes, you should be able to join for race 2. It's a shame you've missed the start of race 1. Contact Coldo. He should be able to help you out on that one. And again, Hayden, look at that. The Timp is falling away quite badly from the back of Detainable. It's not often what you see from Timp, actually. It's on board with the McLaren. I thought he ghosted for a second there. Look at that. He's outside of DRS range of Detainable. And there's a real opportunity then for Detainable to get on the top spot. He's got the fastest lap of the race, as you'd imagine. It's all going to be down to tyre life. If those... oh, Calder's actually in. Oh dear, the other McLaren is running into the pits then. Is that a drive-through? I think it's a drive-through then for Caldo. That must have been, again, all sorts of mishappenings going on in the start of this race that's caused a few... And, oh no, Temple of 1's got himself a 3-second penalty. Oh dear, oh dear. His race goes from disastrous to even worse. So look at that then. Tim trying his best to stay within DRS range of Detainable. It's not happening. Hayden is falling a little way back from Tim then. He's just outside of DRS range, but someone who isn't outside of DRS range is Smeege. We saw that beautiful move from the Williams. He's got Cozzy all over his tail as well. There is Skatey. We saw falling through the field a little bit. gaining some places then losing places. Lovely 4-car train forming here. DRS open on Smeej, Cozzy and Skatey, all off the back of Hayden, and that's a look on the inside by the Williams. Now, we'll say the lockups that we see on stream are not entirely accurate. I've been informed by one of the drivers that they don't lock up anywhere near as much as we see them. So whilst out of pure instinct I go, oh, they've locked up, they're not actually locking up anywhere near as much as we think they are. Now, Timp has started to reel Detainable in, I can see at the front. That gap now down to 6/10. And Hayden really has fallen into the clutches of Smeej. Have those Ultrasoft gone? Oh, Smeej! That's a very long way off at turn 19. Very easy to do. You carry a fair bit of speed through that double right-hander of 17-18 as Tim gets the fastest lap. He's now finding his rhythm. Smeej feels the need to go defensive then from Cozzy. If we get an external shot, that would be nice. No, he does manage to find the apex, so Cozzy couldn't throw one up on the inside of turn 1. Let's jump to Timp then. He is broken away from Hayden. As you can see, nearly 2 seconds separate second and third. There is Hayden and his train that he's driving along there. So now Timp back in DRS range of Detainable. And Defabe gets himself a penalty as well. That is not going to help his course in 9th position at the moment. That's what it looks like from the McLaren. As they now come through 10-11, heading down that long straight. He's too far back to really do much at the moment, but I would imagine those Ultrasofts are going to go off pretty soon. Look at this. This is Hayden holding up this particular train here. If Tim wins this, who's going to... Are you offering to do a shoey smash, or are you telling Dan to do one? Oh, look at that. That was Cozzy trying to throw it up on the inside of turn 13. Very, very brave. Smeej was very slow. And then look at that on the double right-hander of 13-14. So it was the inside of turn 12 that he tried to throw it earlier. And through goes the Ultrasoft shot Mercedes of Cozzy. Look how much tighter he's holding the apexes than the Williams. There's still a fair amount of grip to be found on those Ultrasofts at the moment. Kalon gets himself a penalty. It's very easy to do purely because of the amount of corners going on. Whoa, we just saw Cozzy fly off the road a little bit. Now Cozzy going to try and chase Hayden down. And look at that, just at the top of the hill, that is the view from Timp. He is really keeping the pressure on Detainable. He's got, he's certainly found his rhythm pretty well. Not that I'm aware of there, Anthony. I don't believe there is a way of showing the tyre life. If there is, I don't know. Is that Calder in the pits again? That's the second time he's come through the pits in this race, and it's only a 14-lap race. He's come in. He does not want to hang on to this Ultrasoft, so maybe we're going to start seeing... Oh, Cozzy, what a shame. He's got himself a 3-second penalty there. And Caldo has vanished. Oh, no. It's just he vanished from camera, and he is actually back on track. There he is on the super soft tyres. Detainable. Keeping the lead then, but only 4/10 now between himself and Timp. And Tim having a look on the inside of 12, but doesn't quite get the move done. Oh, trouble, it's Temple of One. We've lost someone. It's the Renault Temple of One. He's thrown it away in the S's somewhere. We can't really see where that is. Oh, goodness me, our first crash of the night. And it is the Renault, and look at that. Just we come back to Timp. He's got the lead back from Detainable, through it on the inside of that is... If I can work out whether it is, turn 15-16 that he's managed to get that move done. Very, very nice. It's Detainable losing the best of those tyres already. No, Timp's in. Well, well, well. I did not expect to see a Supersoft runner in yet. But Timp has decided to get rid of those tyres. Despite the fact that he is the quickest man on track. Just managed to tip into the lead. And predictably, Ultrasofts going on the McLaren. He obviously feels he can get that many laps out of it. Of course, the camera getting confused on where he's gone. So that is a Toro Rosso 1-2 at the moment. Cozzy in very, very short succession. We know he's got that penalty. At the moment. No, I am in the box on my own for the Sprint Series there. Ah, another Kodiak, just spelled slightly differently. Welcome to you, and welcome to all those that are in the channel at the moment. You are always welcome for our league races. Cozzy then keeping the pressure on the Toro Rosso at the moment. Makes himself a little bit known, but there's no way he was going to throw it on the inside of turn. That will be turn 11 from that particular distance. Look how the tails are wiggling away on that Smeej and Skatey that we saw, but they are within pretty good range. There's Kalon not too far back. There he is in the Red Bull. He's struggled a bit in this sprint series. Oh, that's Skatey getting very, very close to Smeege, coming into that heavy braking zone of turn 12, but remains in his position at the moment. Where is Detainable? There he is. I want to see when he pits. Cozzy then keeping Hayden for company. The top three on the Ultra Softs at the moment. There we see Smeege and Skatey just behind them. So a big look at this amount of pressure that is being exerted. Timp and has just demoted Rienk. And there we go. We've got some Ultra Soft runs coming in. Detainable. That's an interesting sense. Look at that. 4 cars in the pits. 2 Ultra Soft runners and 2 Super Soft runners. Hayden, Cozzy, Smeege and Skatey all came in. Kalon chose to continue, as I'm not really surprised. He's on the Super Soft runners. Imagine 2KK is commentating on this race. Dear God, no. How crazy are you to want 2 of me? The thing is, if that happened, neither of us would get a word in edgeways. So Detainable continues to lead this race. He now leads Kalon by 6.5 seconds. But surely Detainable is going to be coming in soon. There is the ever-charging Timp on those fresh Ultra Soft tyres. He obviously feels he can take those to the end of the race. Defabi is in. He's come out in 10th position. As Rienk, whoops, gets himself a penalty there. Where is Detainable? There he is, coming down that long straight, heading down to turn 12. Big heavy braking zone there. Again, probably not a lockup actually going on there. And that's Temple of One actually leaving the session. Cozzy is still pretty close to Hayden, so they pitted at the same time. Both coming out predictably on Super Soft, so he started on the Ultras. And Cozzy's still having DRS then on that Mercedes. That's Rienk that's just gone through the shot in the Red Bull. Don't believe he's come in yet. And indeed he has not. Where's Detainable? He is... Oh no, he is coming out. I thought he was going to go for another lap on those Ultras. Possibly a little bit like... Oh, you saw how the tail did not want to stick then. He only just managed to get that slowed down. Kalon predictably comes in as well. It's going to be interesting to see where they come out in relation to everybody else. So that is going to hand the lead over to the Ultra Soft Shod McLaren of Timp. He has played a pretty good strategy call here. 1:34.7 as his fastest lap then. Oh, wrong one. There you go. That shows the overall position changes. Rienk has chosen to continue, but he's got a whole lot of company there. He's just lost third. That's Hayden that's flown through, but he's overshot that turn 1. He's going to lose that position back to Rienk. Cozzy has already gone through into third. There is the Mercedes. Oh, and Hayden had to slip out. Oh, Rienk, another penalty. And this track is catching a few people out. As mentioned earlier, I'm not really surprised. Oh my goodness me, that is Rienk that's getting very out of shape. And look at that lovely switch back then by Rienk trying to get that 4th position. Can he get it done? He does indeed before the braking zone on turn 11. And Smeege dives through and claims both of them. What a great move by the Williams. That's actually sent Hayden wide. Goodness me. And actually, I think Smeege allowed the drivers through. That was sporting of him. That was quite a brave move he attempted there. But he has actually allowed people to retake their positions. Very good sportsmanship conduct there. Good on you. But he's still fighting though. He's got that's Kalon on the fresh Ultras right with him. So jump on board with the Red Bull. You can see Smeege is just determined to get past Hayden. He is trying every which way he possibly can, but that's not really going to help. You've got to pick your time right, not just keep trying every single possible gap you can find. Oh, Smeege has got some terrible lag going on there. Timp really getting the hammer down. 1:34.714 for him for his fastest lap. Then Hayden trying his best to keep these guys behind us. Kalon, oh dear, oh dear. You got another 3-second penalty for the Red Bull. Now DRS open, but it doesn't seem to be paying off a great deal. Smeege having a look on the inside of turn 1. Can he get it done? It's going to be pretty brave, but no, well defended there by Hayden. He was able to keep the momentum going with excuse me, with the Super Softs on that Red Bull. Very, very well played indeed. Let me jump back on with Kalon. Then he's Skater gets himself a penalty. Kalon's a great camera car for us at the moment for this 3-way battle. 4th, 5th and 6th, Hayden, Smeege and Kalon. Everyone else is fairly well spread out at the moment, and still seeing the penalties clocking in. Hayden goal. Hayden went a little deep there at 11, but again, that could be out of choice to try and get a greater drive out of the corner. Smeed now trying to get the extra pace out of those ultra softs, goes towards the inside. Can he get the job done before the braking zone 12? He did! Oh my goodness me! Kalon throws it on the inside. He's surely not going to make that stick, and indeed doesn't. That was a little bit too ambitious. That actually put Smeed slightly out of kilter. Smeed's now on the outside, trying to do something about Hayden. Now switches to the inside for that double right-hander 15-16, and Smeed has got it, but can he hold on to it? Hayden now. And Kanon slipped through as well. These three completely swap around position. That put Hayden completely out of position for 17-18. You saw how slow it was, and there's impact between Hayden and Skatey. Oh, goodness me. And Hayden allowed Skatey through in the house. And Skatey rather a bit out of nowhere there, and caught Hayden completely off guard. Wow, that was pretty intense by these guys. But the battling is by no means done. Kalon all over the back of Smeed still. And Ring's in the pits. I thought he was in trouble there. So the ultra soft shod Red Bull comes in. Let's jump back up to Kalon as he chases that Williams through the S's. You want to be close to someone to try and attack them for the heavy braking zone of 11, but unfortunately you lose that downforce exactly when you need it through those high-speed bends, 3 all the way through to 10, as Sailing gets himself a penalty as well. Now Kalon, can he press on to try and do something about Smeed coming through the apex of 11? Oh, you heard how the rears just lit up then. They did not want to bite into the tarmac at all. And Kalon's lost a little bit too much ground to try and throw one on the inside. And again, he's going to close in. Oh my goodness me. And Skatey getting himself a penalty there. That's the Haas you see behind these guys. That's what happens when you push a little bit hard. Oh goodness me. See, there's a great example of the different lines being used through 15 and 16. You saw Smeed and the Williams go for slower entry, but a wider line to try and get a better exit out of 16, whereas Kalon tried to take a tighter line through both apexes. He caught up with the Williams, but couldn't do anything about it when he got there. Skatey now getting within DRS range of Kalon and Smeed, so we've got this, what was a 4-car battle, is now returning to be a 3-car battle. So coming to turn 1, Kalon looked like he got very deep, but again could look to be getting trying to get a decent line, decent exit from turn 1, as Detainable gets himself a penalty, but at that he's 5 and a bit seconds ahead of Cozzy, so that's not going to cost him anything at this point in time, unless of course he gets another one in the remaining 4 laps. There you see Skatey is catching up to the back of this Red Bull. Whoa, big old tank slapper for Kalon there. That would be that would have woke him up a little bit if he wasn't before. On board then with the Haas of Skatey in 6th position. Smeed didn't look like he had a great exit from turn 11. This could put Kalon right on his case. You can see Smeed looked like he had to go for the inside line very, very early. Kalon is picking up as much slipstream as he can. Is he going to throw on the inside? He's gone for the inside. Can he make it stick? Oh, well played by both of them. Smeed still alongside. He's going to have the inside for turns 13, 14. And he's going to return to that position. Kalon's still there. Can he hold on to it? Now for the double left-hander of 15, 16. And Kalon's gone through again. Can he hold on to it? Skatey now getting involved. And again, Skatey's going to have to pick his moment. That battle is not done. Oh, great timing for the helicam there. Look at the Williams. He's nailed to the back of the Red Bull. He actually hit the back of the Red Bull. That's I think Kalon was a little bit slower coming through 19 than Smeed was expecting, and that caught the Williams completely by surprise. Now we're going to see something go on into turn 1. 3 laps to go here at this first race of COTA. Oh, Tim gets himself a penalty. Well, it's not something you see particularly often. On board. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. On board again with the Haas. Just keep your patience, hit your marks through the S's. You're not going to be able to do much if you get too close. Through 8 and 9. Oh, again a little bit of a tank slap by Skatey. Smeed will know that the Haas is there. Is he going to throw on the inside of 11? He has a look. He's going to go for it. Can he make it stick though? That's going to be the... He does. Smeej did not have an answer for it. Well played then by the Haas of Skatey. That is gaining a position as Erskine gets himself a penalty. But Smeej is straight on the Haas's case then. Smeej goes to the inside line of the Williams. He's going to have that done at the braking zone. And Skatey knew that overtake was done. He wisely let him go, but he's nailed to the diffuser of the Williams, and that's going to give Kalon an opportunity. He already is outside of DRS range. You just see the Red Bull go out of the shot. That's 1.5 seconds. Ooh, and a big tank slapper there by the Williams. Look at that. Skatey's nearly pushing Smeej through the 17-18 double right-hander, now through 19. Down towards the final turn. Tiny bit wide there for Skatey. Surely now. Again, that was quite a poor line through turn 20, through the final turn for Skatey, so that's going to give Smeej a tiny bit of breathing space, but Skatey's got a hell of a lot of more pace than the Williams. Closes in but goes very wide into turn 1. Tries to get a faster line out of it, but to be honest, I'm not sure how much you're going to gain because you're straight into the S's. Well, you're straight into turn 2 that leads into the S's, so having a faster exit from turn 1, I'm not really too convinced is going to gain you a great deal. Unless, of course, you are banking on a mistake by the guy you are chasing. So, again, Kalon has actually run off into the distance. 2 seconds now separates the Williams and the Red Bull. Now heading down to 11. There you see in the background is Hayden. He was fighting in the podium positions early on. Still time to go. There's 2 laps remaining here, which in the Sprint Series is plenty enough time for things to change. This is the closest battle we have on track at the moment. Skatey's not going to be close enough to try and move into 12. Look at that. There's the Red Bull of Kalon. He's going to take a mistake from him. We have a problem with Sector 2. We don't know who that was. Oh, it's Defabe. Oh, my goodness me. That's not what you tend to like to see. A Sauber trying to reverse, or anybody trying to reverse. That is at turn 11, so he's really badly overcooked it on that heavy braking zone and ended up having to reverse out of the wall. Back to this battle then for 5th position. Oh, goodness me, that's a long way off circuit for the Haas then. That again is going to give Smeej a little bit of breathing space rather. But again, you just saw the tail did not want to bite on that Williams, and still Smeej feels the need to defend the inside line. And now we have a problem in Sector 3. Oh, and that is the Williams. It's gone wide. Is this an opportunity for Skatey? No, not quite. Defabe, I think, is in trouble again. Erskine has a 10-second penalty for corner cutting. I suspect there's been a problem down there. We saw the yellow flags. I think Defabe may have been involved in that. We don't entirely know. Let's jump back up to this battle. Oh, that's going to be wide. Another penalty for Hayden. That's not going to help him at all. Let's just double check where Timp is. He's on the back straight, so he's still got a little way to go yet. Apologies for the jumping around of the cameras, but it just enables me to keep tabs on where everybody is. That's turn 11 they've just gone through. This is going to be Skatey's last opportunity then to try and do something about the Williams. Save for a mistake, but I think Tim is going to be crossing the line any minute. Oh no, not quite. We've got a few more seconds before he does. Oh, that was a good back shot there from Smeej. Oh, the warehouse is having a look, but there's no room there. As Smeej just managed to keep the door closed enough to keep Skatey behind. Oh, Skatey's still having a think about it. But your winner for this round number 9 here at COTA for the first sprint race is the McLaren. He's got time to go over the line backwards. It is the McLaren of Timp. Detainable poleman. Sorry, Timp was the poleman, but leading the race for quite a while, was detainable. Cozzy in the Mercedes, a great result for him. He'll be quite happy with that. And there it's Kalon. That'll do his championship battle. Oh, that's a way to finish a race. Yeah, nice one, Cozzy. Kalon actually got demoted through penalties, and Smeej bounces off 2 walls and destroys the front of that car. He's been elevated to 4th then. Kalon with penalties is demoted to 5. Skatey was 6th. We had Hayden there. He's just crunched into the back of someone in 7th. There's Salenk in the Force India. Really didn't get to see you very much at all. Goldo, we saw was caught up in that early early misadventures on the line, so he comes across the line in 9th. There is Defabe. Someone actually sat still. That'll be the three-wheeled Merc, I suspect. Erskine comes across the line in 11th, and Rienk, a race to forget for him in the Red Bull, across the line, and that will complete the lineup. We lost Rick Viga right at the beginning and Tepler won as the race went on. Right, we will just wait for the final positions to come up. We will, of course, have the podium celebrations in the normal fashion. And there they are. Excuse me, just grabbing a drink there. Once again, Tim getting that toss ball. Oh, I know what I can do at this point. Let's get that running again. Once again, the finish flag on the top spot. As I get forward through. So Tim then taking the win. Look, at every single driver had at least one penalty. Every single one of them. That's tells you how difficult this track is. But Tim 1, Detainable 2, Cozzy 3, Smeed 4, Kalon 5, Skatey 6, Hayden 7, Salenkin 8, Calder 9, and Ifabe rounds out your top 10s. The grid will be reformed then for race number 2. Do bear with us whilst we do so. We'll be back with you as soon as we can. Let's get the ever-growing fame of the Cannonball Run going once again.
What do you say when there are no words? Feel a song that's never been heard. How do you know when you hear the call? What do you do when you've done it all? Cannonball, cannonball, cannonball. It's not what you do, it's how you do. Be anything you want to be. It's not what you got, it's how you use it. You be you and I'll be me, it's just a matter of style. You can't fake it, mile after mile, feeling free. If you got the soul, you can make it. Move 'em out, let 'em roll, from sea to shining sea. Ball, cannonball. What do you do when the mountain is there? How do you answer the challenging day? And when your back's against the wall, what do you do when you've done it all? Cannonball, cannonball, cannonball. It's not what you do, it's how you do. Be anything you want to be. It's not what you got, it's how you use it. You be you and I'll be me, it's just a matter of style. You can't fake it, mile after mile, feeling free. If you got the soul, you can make it. Move 'em out, let 'em roll, from sea to shining sea. Ball, cannonball. Hey, now cannonball, 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 cannonball.
Indeed. Do love that track, even though I play it so many times every single week. Still love it, still love it. We are waiting for a couple of our drivers to return to the session, and we will get this underway for you. So do bear with us. We will get the second race here at Circuit of the Americas underway as soon as we can for you. But wow, a lot of people have got to I say a lot of people, every single person had at least one penalty there, so that's going to keep us commentators busy. It's certainly going to keep those calculated. If any of those penalties are going to be contested post-race, it's going to keep the stewards very, very busy, I suspect. So, indeed, we are just waiting for drivers to return to session. So for those unfamiliar with the format of this particular series, it is two 25% races, both held on the same circuit that the main series the following day is going to be run on. So the main league races go on tomorrow. Again, the streams will be held here at the Apex Online Racing YouTube channel, for which I will be covering the PC Split 1 along with my ever faithful counterpart Mr. Hamish Sopwith. So we are just, like I said, we're just waiting for a couple of drivers to return to us. So that from the qualifying that we had at the beginning of the session, the top 8 are going to be reversed, and 9th downwards will remain in their original qualifying positions, and we will then get race number 2 underway. So there won't be a second qualifying session. Oh, excuse me. We will just go straight into, once the grid has been built, as we're still missing a couple of our drivers. Once we get the countdown going, I will put the stream back on. Otherwise, you're just seeing a lobby. Well, I suppose a lobby's a little bit more interesting than a blank screen, I grant you. So yes, that's basically what we're waiting for. Is Rick Vega and Temple of One are the two drivers that were with us in race 1, but did not manage to make the end of the race. We are waiting for those to return, if at all possible. So yes, so now it's the second round. Again, 25% with the top 8 reversed, as previously mentioned, so no other qualifiers. And it looks like we are getting this round underway then. We will be short of Rick Vega and Temple of One, it would seem. Well, they have 20 seconds to get in. I would think, by the look of that they are going to be out of this second round then. And the rest is exactly as we've had it. So, yes, with the action we had in the first round, if we get some wet weather in there, that'll be even more interesting. And down to the grid we go. 13 drivers in, so we lost 2, gained 1. AOR Smash has joined us for the second round. There you see his name at the bottom of the driver list. Let's get on then with round 10 of the championship. Second round here at Kota. Let us see what the weather is going to give us. Just waiting for AOR Smash. There he is. Down we go. We know that bit. It's overcast but dry this time around, which I'm sure the drivers will be quite pleased about. Wet weather here at Kota is, as we saw in qualifying just in the one lap that they did, but with the amount of twisty bits and technicality of this track, the wet weather conditions will make for absolute big old headaches and a lot of problems, I suspect. Come on, let's go, let's go. I love that. I love the American accent on the announcer there in the background. Right, come on then, here we go. 5 seconds and we go down to the grid. Ready or not, here we come. Here we go. It's Sailink on the pole then. 5 lights. Wind them up and let them wait for it and go then. You saw a pretty decent start there by Skating in the Haas there. Whoa, look at the Mercedes. That is Cosy, I think, that's trying to come through. Smeeds has gained 1. Timp has gained 1. There's position swaps all over the place. The Force India hanging on to that. Oh my goodness me, look at that. It's Kalon up to 3rd then. What a... wrong way. I'm getting my keys all wrong for some reason. It's not like I haven't done this before. Smeeds then 3rd. Kalon 4. Sanek hangs on to the lead at the moment. We've got 2 in the pit. Oh, that was Rick Vega and Temple of One. It looks like they weren't able to join us in time. There they are. Like, oh, what a great shame. They didn't quite rejoin in time. Or because they were in the round to start with, they weren't able to return to us. Look at that. Timp is up to 5th already in the McLaren. And looks like Cozzy's lost a couple. Let's change the detail to position change. Look at that. Skatey's lost 3. Timp up 3. Smeege up 2. And Cozzy and Detainable both down 1 apiece then. And that is the Mercedes. That is Cozzy, you see. Oh my goodness me, that's Cozzy getting very, very close to Skatey then coming into turn 11. Oh, I need to change a window. Sorry about that. Forever doing that. So Skatey keeping that Mercedes at bay. Oh, bit of a lag moment there for Cozzy. Let's jump back up to the front. As actually, no, let's not jump to the front as Kalon's having a battle over 4. That's Timp he's side by side with. Around the outside. And, oh, that could be nasty. And that's a Red Bull flying off the road. That is Kalon. I saw him get very out of shape coming through. Well, 16 through to 19. Sailing then, of course, coming across the line first, and Kalon's lost a position to Skatey as well. He's down to 6th then in a half a dozen corners. He's already then under pressure by Cozzy in the Mercedes. And Kalon again, he went for a very wide line, and that cost him the position to Cozzy. If he was going for a quicker exit, it did not pay off. Timp now up to 4th in the McLaren. It looks like everybody's running the super soft tyres. I reckon, oh, come on. There we go. Oh, not everybody. Sony decided to start in the Ultra Soft, so Escobar already has got himself a penalty. So Tim then, winner from the last round, the championship leader, now up to 4th position. Trying to keep the pressure on Smeege. That's Detainable. And Kalon again, he is falling through the order. Has he got damage on that Red Bull? I certainly can't see from that angle. Front wing. Oh, goodness me, that's... Who was that? That was all out of... Was it a... I wonder if that was Smash that was all out of sync. Oh, look at that. That's 3 wide coming into 12. Goodness me, someone's going to lose out. It is Kalon again. He is now fallen down to 9th place. It is getting even worse then for the Red Bull. Oh, look at that. Big chunk of front wing missing. That's why he's so slow. And you do not want to be losing front wing elements here. Tim now up to 3rd. He's already taken the position away from Smeege. He's got Hayden and Sailing ahead of him. You just seen him go through the shot. Whoa, big tank slapper for Tim there. I thought, surely he's not coming to the pit already. And Smeege capitalising on that mistake. DRS is now enabled. And, well, there you go. Smeege handed that position back to the McLaren. There's a statement we don't often hear. Oh, look at that. A dive on the inside of turn 1 for the Williams, but he can't make it stick. Timp getting a great drive on the exit of turn 1. Kalon predictably in the pits to get that front nose. Front nose? I don't know how many other noses he has. That front wing changed. Hayden getting a penalty. That's going to hurt from 2nd place. Further back then, Skatey has got Cozzy for company still. And then further back again, you've got Caldo in the 2nd McLaren with Detainable all over his tail. And just behind him is Defabe. So lots of battling going on at this stage of the race. Look at that train that's going on here behind... I was going to say behind Tim, but it's a little bit unfair. It's more like he's behind Smeege. Skatey looks like he's trying to size up a move. Both of them are going to have DRS. Oh, there's again a lag moment there by Cozzy in the Mercedes. Oh, is that a move by Skatey in the Haas? No, not quite. Looked like he was closing in quite heavily on Smeege, but was not close enough to make a move. Oh, problem in Sector 2. Who's falling through the field? It's... No, not Skatey. That was a hell of a dive there by... Oh, Cozzy! I think overcooked it. Trying to go into... Cozzy's lagging everywhere at the moment. We saw that move but couldn't make it stick then, so that's going to cost Cozzy quite a bit of time. He's out of DRS range now of the Haas, so Skatey can now concentrate on Smeege ahead. As these 3 cars are... Actually, Timp is in DRS range of Hayden. As you can see, the McLaren's been reading in the top 2. And a Smash getting the fastest lap in the Ultra Soft Shop Force India down there in 10th. He's starting to get into a rhythm. Fair play to you. As these guys now coming through the S's. Ooh, that's... Oh, that's brave! Oh my goodness me, that was brave. Hayden got very out of shape and Tim just threw it on the inside. That's around turn 7 and 8. And he was very trusting that Hayden wouldn't turn into him, and indeed he didn't. Very, very close, but wow, that was well done by both of them. Cozzy and Skatey swapping position again. There's a Defabe and Smash have swapped place as well down there in 9th. And we didn't see what happened here with Cozzy. Oh, problem in Sector 2. Who is it? It's Defabe. And again we have a reversing Sauber. So that's a problem at turn 11 again. We saw that before. And Skatey's lost another position. There it is. It's Coldo in the McLaren. Threw it on the inside of 12. And again, the Haas going for an outside maneuver through 13-14. And he got run out of road fair and square by Coldo. He's now going to have detainable on his tail. As Skatey gets himself a penalty. Oh dear, oh dear. Timp has got a couple of seconds to close down to Salink. And the problem is sector 3. Who's going to follow the field? Is Erskable. Another reversing car. That's Williams of Erskable. Where is that? And he's actually recovered it to track. I'm not surprised he got himself all out of kilter. That is turn 16. I think he's got the double right hander of 17 of 18. Skatey's in the pits then. That's quite early for those super softs. So damage perhaps on the Haas. We don't know. He's going to have a front wing change. Nope, just a tyre change. Very early. Maybe was fed up fighting those around him. Off he goes then, and we have a few other pitters, but the ultra soft tyres, I would imagine, are going to pit. Well, they should pit early, of course. They're very, 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 very soft tyres, and in the heat they won't last long. And in that very technical track such as this, oh, Coldo, that's not going to help you. The tyres are going to burn out that little bit quicker, so I'm not surprised to see the ultra soft runners come in. I am surprised to see super soft runners come in quite this early. We are looking at a potential lead change very, very soon. Sailing defended that inside line coming down to turn 12. Is Tim going to try and send it around the outside? He's well defended again by the Force India. On board then by the McLaren. Double right-hander of 13-14 up to 15. He's going to try and throw it on the inside. It's bold, it's beautiful, and it's not quite done though. Well played by Sailing. Got a decent drive out of turn 16 that made he held on to the lead, but it does look like it's a fairly inevitable move. Oh, again, well defended by Sandlick. He's going to come in the pits though. Fair enough. And Tim probably knew that he was going to come in around that kind of point, but didn't want to risk just hanging back and waiting for that inevitable pit stop. Hayden is pretty close behind. There he is, just outside of DRS range. If we can close down a little bit, Smeed just come in the pits as well. If Hayden can close in that little bit on Tim, then that could well be a battle reigniting for the lead. Detainable and Coldo are fairly close together in fourth and fifth respectively. There you see, that's Cozzy in the Mercedes coming through the S's, and that is Smash that's just gone through the shot as well. So again on board with the Toro Rosso. Ultra soft shod McLaren, you can imagine it's going to come in soon. And the super soft shod detainable, I wouldn't imagine would. I wonder if Coldo's left that a little bit too long to get rid of those ultra soft. And then, as you can see on the overlay, a lot of people still running the... Oh, Erskable couldn't slow it down quick enough and got a pit lane speeding penalty. Not going to help him. So look at Kalon down there, 16 seconds down in 12th position. And Defabi and Smeed have swapped position. That's at turn 11. The Williams getting the inside manoeuvre done on the Sauber. Clean and fair. So he's now got 3.5 seconds. You can see Sailing, former race leader, just ahead of him. Let's bring up the stops amount. There you go. A lot of people yet to change tyres. It's not even all the ultras or all the super softs have yet to pit. It's a very big mixture. That's very interesting. I did not expect to see such a varied range, as Tim gets 35.9 as the fastest lap at the moment. As we are fast approaching the halfway stage, now we see 4 people of the top 6 in. Smash, Coldo, Cozzy and Hayden have all come in. So Detainable and Tim have chosen to continue. Tim now leads Detainable by 7 seconds, but whoa, that was Smeed getting very, very lively on the exit of the final turn, turn 20. And who's that? Who's that? That's Hayden, that's just come out of the pit in 4th. So at least Smeed has got someone to play with there. Is that Skatey in trouble or Skatey losing position? I think that's Skatey losing position to Coldo at turn 1. Oh, he's staying very, very close as Cozzy in the Mercedes gets himself a penalty. We're seeing Cozzy with a fair bit of lag trouble in the second race. Skatey got very out of shape on that next apex. That's going to lose him some time to Coldo. Smash gets a penalty as well. The penalty's still coming in thick and fast, unfortunately. Skatey keeping the pressure on that McLaren at the moment. There's 410 separating, so now it's going to be a great opportunity. You want to get a decent exit out of 11. He's got the softer rubber. How much life has he got? Now the DRS is open. Gaining. Coldo goes defensive. He's going to have to either switch back or throw around the outside. He's gone for the switchback option, but that puts him on the outside again. Good defending there by the McLaren. Haas has kept his foot in it. He's now going to have the inside of the next two apexes. Can he do it? Yes, he can, but can he make it stick? The McLaren's still there. Coldo hanging on for everything he's possibly got. Coldo's now going to have the inside of the next two apexes. This is a very long camera angle. And he's actually kept the car ahead. As Detainable now from second position comes in. And the Haas is going to have to do that all over again. That was brilliantly played by Coldo. And we have a problem in Sector 2. We don't know who that is. Detaitable's in the pits. We already know that. Smede's getting the fastest lap. Rienk getting another penalty. Oh, that's Detainable coming out right in front of this battle. Coldo trying the inside at, Skatey trying the inside at turn 1. Coldo trying to keep hold of it and does manage to through turn 2. Goodness me, Coldo's heart must be in his mouth at the moment. Absolutely great stuff. Now, it's unlikely that Detainable is going to become part of this particular battle. He's on fresh ultra soft tyres as Skatey gets himself a penalty again. Smede is getting close to Hayden though. This is a battle for third, and Salenk through the pit stops. He's not actually too far off of Timp, but Timp has got very fresh tyres on his car. But that Force India does have DRS, so Timp can't completely ignore the car behind. Well, the top 4, actually the top 5 are not too far apart car to car, so there's a potential train forming here that we could see play out before the race is done. All of them on ultras except for Salenk. In that, actually in the top 6. It's Coldo, as we've seen him fighting off Skatey. He's still got the harder rubber on. Skatey is not letting that McLaren go at all. Now you can see Detainable ahead of them, but like I say, he's got the fresh tyres on. He's not likely to fall, unless he makes a mistake, of course. He's not likely to fall into the clutches of this battle. Saw Skatey get a big tank slapper on. Coming out of turn 19. Can he do anything into turn 1? It's going to be very, very big dive bomb if he tries it. And wisely he does not. Both of them following a near identical. Oh, Timp! Oh, that could cost you. That could cost you. That would, if the race finished now, it would cost him the lead. As Coldo again gets himself a penalty. So we are going to have to wait until the race is done before we know where anybody is finished. As Kalon comes into the pits again. So his race is getting ever worse. I wonder if the Ultrasofts on that Haas are burnt out, because Coldo doesn't look like he's under quite as much pressure as he has been leading up to this point. I'm assuming they've been through the pits once. Yep, everybody has been through the pits once. A couple of people have been through it twice. Skatey will of course close in a bit. Ooh, strange lag moment there. Ooh, Salenk has just lost second. Oh, okay, that's not a commonplace you see overtaking going on. Well, we have seen it already in this race. Oh my goodness, I mean, Salenk trying his best to defend against Hayden, but with the Ultrasofts on that car, is going to be near impossible. We have got a train who has another person on the penalty board. That's Smede's trying to get past Smede. Oh, Smede. I was going to say Smede is. It looks like he's very, very impatient in certain points, and it is causing him problems. He's flying off the road everywhere. That's going to be an opportunity for Cozzy, I would imagine, to do something against the Williams. That lag is causing them to bounce around everywhere. He's going to throw on the inside of one, but can he make it stick? Can he get the traction when he needs it? The Williams is still there. Can he get it done before 2? No, the Williams just manages to hold on. And Cozzy returns back into that position. And Skatey has managed to finally, at turn 1, get past Coldo. That has been a long time coming, but it all depends on how long those tyres last for. Back up to this position. This is 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th in very, very short succession. That's Hayden, Salenk, Smede and Cozzy. Look at that lovely big train forming here. 5 laps to go. There you see Detainable in the background. Heading on down to 12. You see up ahead, that is race leader Timp, but he's quite a way ahead now. That one penalty he's picked up is not going to be too costly for him at this point. I had a funny feeling that would be the case. Coldo is staying with me, so just cut to Coldo in time as he's trying to move on the inside of 12. And then a switchback! Wow, now that I didn't expect, and I'm not entirely sure Skatey did either, but unfortunately he was not able to get the traction he needed. He's now going to try the wide line through 15-16. And again, a tank slapper by the Haas, but Coldo could not capitalise on it. What a brave move then by Coldo. He's not letting that go at all. Now coming down towards 19. Fairly clean by both of them. Heading towards final turn. And again, the tail's just not wanting to bite. And that is going to give Skatey enough breathing space, I think. And that is... Who was that? I think that... Who was that just came out? Was that Erskine that just came out of the pit? It was indeed. So Erskine's a lap down and slowing. Okay, not too sure. Erskine having a problem there. He's a lap... Oh, I think he may have been waiting for others. Look at that. Skatey trying now to get away from that McLaren. But I wonder whether Skatey's already burned the best out of those tyres. And that's the super soft shod McLaren. He's now going to start to come good. And could possibly get that 7th position back. Let's not take away from this particular battle either. If that's holding true for these guys, Sailing could now start to get away from Smeej and Cozzy behind, although the Williams and the Mercedes do look like they're ready to pounce. Smeej going with the inside of 12. And they're forcing you trying to hang on to that inside line. Impact between the two. Oh, goodness me. Cozzy now getting interested in the big tank slapper for the Force India right in the middle of that particular battle. Wow, look at that. The Force India threw that on the inside of turn 16. But can he make it stick? That camera angle's too long. No, he can't. Smeej has managed to regain 3rd. And Cozzy's right in there as well. Goodness me. And look at that. Cozzy now having a look at the inside of the final turn. Can't quite get it done. And Calder and Skatey are still fighting as well. It's difficult to know where to look. Both of them flying off the road. And Sailing has lost that. Oh, blimey. That was a weird moment there. But Sailing has lost that 4th position to the Mercedes. Did have a feeling he might do. Oh my goodness me, it's a Smeej. A Smeej. He's overcooked it on the exit of turn 1. And he's lost 2 as a result of it. That's Detainable has gone through. Smeej, Katie and... I keep saying Katie. Skatey and Caldo are still having their battle as well. They were side by side on the exit of 1. Goodness me, it's impossible to know whether Lucas Caldo jumps across one of the apexes. Smeej has got it all to do. He's just picked himself up another penalty. He's now going to chase down Detainable. He lost 3 positions down to 1 mistake. And exactly as I said before, 1 mistake is going to be very, very costly here. Sanek is still hanging on to, is still within DRS range of the Mercedes, so he's not out of the running yet. He could well challenge for that podium position. Detainable has got that Williams all over his tail. Kanon in the pits yet again. He may as well just not bother coming back out, unfortunately, but another pit stop for the Red Bull. This will be one that be knocked down to experience for him as Rienk. Another penalty on the board. Oh, goodness me. So Tim comes round. He leads by 8 seconds from Hayden then, as Tim starts the penultimate lap. Hayden leads 2.2 over Cozzy, who leads a 4-car train. Oh, to be fair, it's 2 pairs. Oh, you saw Smeej getting all out of shape there. So Cozzy 3, Sailing 4, Detainable 5, Smeej 6 in a pretty short succession. As the other Williams of Erskine gets another penalty on the board. He's already in last all the same. It can't get any worse for him. Skatey is 6 seconds down from that particular battle. Oh, Caldo getting very, very out of shape in the McLaren. That could potentially cost him DRS when they come around again. He's just within... Oh, Sailing, what a shame that you just picked up a penalty now. That is going to be quite costly for you, sir. Smash. Saw a fair bit of him early on, but haven't seen a great deal of him since. Way and get a bit of rallying going on there. Defabe barely seen you at all, and just as I cut to you, get another penalty for the Sauber. Rienk in the Red Bull has gotten a little bit out of shape by the sound of the tyres into turn 1. Kalon has been through the pits more times than he would care to count, and Erskine there has been really struggling in that Williams. Let's jump back up to this 4-car train here. 3, 4, 5 and 6. It is getting very, very intense as the race starts to draw to a close. I say it starts to draw to a close, it continues to draw to a close, I should say. Salick is has just about lost DRS on the Mercedes. You've just seen Cozzy go through the shot. Hayden picks up a penalty. And that's Smeech flying off the road again. That could be costly for Hayden, as Hayden does not lead by 3 seconds. That's down on the nose of Detainable, and Salick trying to defend. And let's see how turn 1 plays out. Detaitable's nose ahead. Can he hold on to it? No, the 14 is still there. But Salick can't hang on to Detainable, or can he? Oh, me of little faith. The Force India does. He manages to keep Detainable behind. That's Cozzy's just going to have a penalty. And there was a problem in Sector 3. We don't know who. That could be costly for Cozzy as well. He could lose that 3rd position to Salick. But again, it does depend on penalties across the board. As Rian gets himself a penalty as well. Just check on where Timp is. He's on the back straight. Oh, that's Detainable again. Have a look at the inside of turn 12. Oh, turn 11 rather. On the Force India. Can I get it done? Bit of wheel banging going on between the two. Side by side now on that back straight. Oh, that's Erskable gone. We've lost Erskable from this race. And the still Detainable is alongside, and sorely not Smeech. Oh, goodness me. Smeech tried to claim both of them, but he's lost out slightly. Big tank slapper for the Williams. He's not going to try the inside of the next apex. Goodness me, through 13, 14. Can he get the traction when he needs it? Not quite. Well defended by Salick. And the switchback. I can't call it quick enough. Salick's flown off the road. Smeech is now up to 5th. It was impossible for me to keep up with all the action. But let's jump up to the top then, because I think by now it has indeed. Timp is the winner of this next round. That's 4 in a row for the McLaren. Hayden is going to cross the line, keeping Cozzy behind him just about. Cozzy comes across the line in 3rd, but demoted to 4th. Hayden elevated to that podium position. Smeech, bang, there was a bit of carbon fiber there. Smeech hangs on to that 5th position. Salick is down in 6th then. Smash 7th. Caldo 8th. Caldo did indeed beat Skatey towards the end. We didn't see. I wasn't able to catch back up with that particular battle. Defabe crosses the line, or it's going to cross the line, and taking the remaining championship point. Force Albert, Rienk in the Red Bull, coming through 17-18. And it's going to finish very lowly. He's already ghosted. Kaden's actually retired, and fair enough, he was the last running car. He's taken a brake board with him. Yet again, bits of front wing missing. Oh my goodness me, it could not have got much worse for Kalon. And that is it. We are done here for the Sprint Series at Circuit of the Americas. Goodness me, that was incredible, the amount of stuff going on. It was impossible for me to keep up with it. There it is. Once again, the finish flag on the top spot. And surrounded by Red Bull this time. And your final confirmation of technically Red Bull, they were Toro Rosso, you know what I mean. Everybody but Detainable this time with a penalty. Tim 1, Detainable 2, Hayden 3, Cozzy 4, Smeech 5, Salick 6, Smash 7, Caldo 8, Skatey 9, and Defabe IR top 10. Thank you very much for those that have been with us from beginning to end. It's always a great pleasure to have you along. If you wanted to get involved in what we do here at Apex Online Racing, head over to apexonlineracing.com. Look at the forums and get involved. You may have crazy bears like me shouting your on-track antics, but for now, thank you very much. I will see you back here for more AOR action, which will be tomorrow for the main league races. Thank you very much, and good night.